What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Canelo Alvarez, the pound for pound cash cow boxing, had a press conference today with Sergey Kovalev to promote their fight at 175 pounds as Canelo Alvarez seeks to jump up 2 weight classes to become a champion in different weight classes, as he currently holds belts at 168 and 160. So he's trying to add to his collection of belts and his collection of being champion in different weight classes. But that was not the interesting thing at this press conference, about them fighting on November 2nd. It's going to be the date. It's going to be on DAZN. But the most fascinating thing that came out of that press conference is Canelo Alvarez and Oscar De La Hoya got real beef with each other. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. A reporter asked Canelo Alvarez about a Triple G trilogy. And Alvarez said this. I'm not going to quote. I'm just going to paraphrase what Canelo Alvarez said. He said, "My business is settled with Triple G. I have no interest to fighting Triple G for a third time." And then the reporter asked him, said, "Hey, Oscar De La Hoya, your promoter of Golden Boy Promotion, came out yesterday and said that you will be fighting Triple G in 2020, either in May or September of 2020. And Canelo Alvarez said this. Canelo Alvarez said, "Oscar De La Hoya says a lot of things that are not true. So don't believe what he's saying. I am the boss. I call the shot. So what he's saying ain't holding no water and ain't holding no weight as far as I'm concerned." He basically called De La Hoya a liar. He says a lot of things that are not true, and so don't what he said. You can hold that with a grain of salt. Don't believe it. So it's obvious that Canelo is still bitter, man. And I think this feud happened when he got stripped of, when Canelo Alvarez got stripped of the IBF belt. He didn't want to get stripped of the IBF belt. And now Triple G is fighting Sergey Derevchenko. I think it's in November 5th, I think it is. November 5th or October 5th, one of them dates. Either October 5th or November 5th. He's fighting Sergey Derevchenko for the IBF belt, Triple G. You remember Oscar De La Hoya made a comment a couple of months ago saying after Triple G beat what was that guy name? Some bum he fought in his debut at DAZN. I can't remember the guy name. Royce. He was more like a Pinto than a Rolls Royce. But I know his last name was Rose or something like that. Steve Rose or something like that. Whatever. But after he defeated the great fighter in Steve Rose, Oscar De La Hoya got on Twitter and said, "Look, great win over sub competition, but look here, you got to do better than that, Triple G. You got to fight somebody of consequence before for us to even think about giving you a title shot. Let alone actually give you one. Just for us just to consider that, you got to fight somebody of relevance. And Steve Rolls Royce, aka the Pinto Man, is not the one that you need to be fighting and thinking that's gonna give you another shot at Canelo." And that's what he said. And then all of a sudden, fast forward a couple of months, he makes Canelo. He's trying to make Canelo fight all these other fighters. He's trying to get him to fight Sergey Kovalev. And in the meantime, the IBF saying, "Look here, you've got to fight your mandatory." And Oscar De La Hoya is negotiating with Sergey Kovalev. And never mind, Sergey Kovalev was already signed to fight, have another fight in August 24th against the guy from the UK that was undefeated but hadn't fought nobody, been shadow boxing. That's part of his training. He wasn't fighting live sparring. He was shadow boxing his way to with his trainer he had. But anyway, he was assigned to fight him, and while he was trying to offer him, lowballing him, knowing he had to pay off top, knowing that there's a guy named Anthony Yard. I'm just messing with you guys, Anthony Yard. But De La Hoya was lowballing Kovalev, knowing that Kovalev had to pay off Kathy Duva, had to pay off Top Rank, who was his co-promoter, and then was going to have to pay off Anthony Yard's step-aside money. He still was offering him $3 million and lowballing him. Well, after he got through paying all these people off, he's going to probably go home with about $1 million if he was lucky. And that's crazy when you're fighting a guy that I already just said is a cash cow boxing in Canelo Alvarez. But while he was lollygagging with those negotiations and putting lowball offers, the IBF got impatient and ended up stripping Canelo of his belt. And Canelo You know, a lot of people thought Canelo didn't want to fight Sergey Derevyanchenko, but I think Canelo was willing to fight him, you know, if it was going to be just to get the mandatory out of his way. You know, just get the fight out of his way, let Sergey fight Anthony Yarde, we both come out victorious, and then we can still fight in November. That's what Canelo Alvarez wanted to do. But while him sitting around waiting on Oscar De La Hoya to close the deal with Kovalev, he ended up getting stripped of his IBF belt. And I think Canelo Alvarez was still pissed off about that, losing his belt. So he had to sit on the sideline. He wanted to fight twice more before this year was out. He's gonna only fight one time before the year is out, and I think that's all stems from that situation. I think he's still upset about that situation. So Oscar De La Hoya is gonna have to mend some fences here with Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez could I don't know the contract situation with him with Golden Boy. I don't know if the contract that he signed, the 10-fight deal he signed with DAZN, is an exclusive deal between him and DAZN, and Oscar De La Hoya, as far as is a separate situation from that actual contract, or is that part of the contract he signed? From what I gather, from what I remember taking place when Canelo first signed that deal with DAZN, it seemed to me that Oscar De La Hoya and Golden Boy was the one that brokered that deal with DAZN. So I would assume that they got the rights to him. As long as he's fighting on DAZN, Oscar De La Hoya is gonna be his promoter. That's just a guess. Another thing people don't know about is Oscar De La Hoya cut a deal with Canelo Alvarez, a deal with the sports bars, so his fight could be shown on at sports bars, and, you know, bars, sports cantinas and around the United States. So Canelo Alvarez fight can still be seen by a large majority, larger audience. Put it like that, because with that fight being on the app like that, DAZN, the sports bars, if it just would have stayed on that app exclusive, that they couldn't showcase his fights at the sports bars or at the theaters or nothing like that. So they cut a deal. Just for Canelo. Anybody else fight on DAZN, you got to watch it on that app, or you're not going to be able to see it. Sports Bars not going to be able to pick it up. But Canelo's got an exclusive deal through Golden Boy with sports bars, and I think theaters all across the USA for his fights to be shown, so they can be seen by a larger audience. Because that was a big problem with him being on DAZN. You know, a lot of people weren't going to be able to watch Canelo fight that was watching him fight in the past when he was fighting on HBO, pay-per-view, and fighting, when he became a pay-per-view star and stuff like that, after he fought Floyd Mayweather. He was fighting on Floyd Mayweather undercards and stuff like that, but he was fighting on HBO pay-per-view, and I think, he's fighting on that. I'm trying to see did he ever fight on, he fought on Showtime too, fought on Showtime a little bit too, Showtime pay-per-view too. I think the fight between him and Mayweather was on Showtime. So he had used to been fighting on pay-per-view. So that was a deal that Golden Boy set up for Canelo. So with that being said, I think they've got exclusive rights to Canelo, so it's gonna be kind of hard for him to get away from it. But I think I don't know if he has final say on who he fights, but I know he has a strong say, but I don't know if he has final say. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it all plays out. But Canelo Alvarez is obviously not happy with the situation going on with Golden Boy Promotion, and they're going to have to give him what he wants, man. He don't want to fight Triple G, so if he's able to get through Sergey Kovalev, he said this at the press conference too, if he's get through with Sergey Kovalev and defeats him, he still plans on moving back down to 160. There's a lot of opportunities down there for 160 for him to fight. You know, he can fight if Derevyanchenko beats Triple G, he can fight Derevyanchenko. He can fight Demetrius Andrade. I doubt if he fight him, but he can fight Jermell Charlo. I doubt if he fight him. So he say he gonna go back down to 160. I doubt. I think he might go back down to 168, maybe defend that regular WBA belt if he wins that. I don't think he's gonna mess with nobody at 175. Bilbo or Bertabiev or Gossick, whoever comes out of that fight. I don't think he's gonna. Another thing, quick thing on Bertabiev and Gossick. I'm hearing that fight is gonna be called off. I'm hearing Bertabiev got shoulder problems, so that fight is gonna get called off. So that fight is not gonna take place. I think October 18th in Philadelphia. I think that fight was supposed to take place there, I believe. I know it's on the 18th. I'm not sure about the city, but I believe it's Philly. But anyway, that fight's going to be off. But anyway, he's not going to fight any one of those killers at 175. 168, I can see him maybe fighting a Callum Smith. Of that might be his next fight. I don't think he'll mess with Billy Joe Saunders. That's another slick boxer that he don't want to seem like he's not dying to get in the ring with any of those top fighters after he fought Lara, who gave him all kind of problems, and a lot of people thought he beat him a couple of years back. So we'll see what happens, man. But that was some of the nuggets I got from the press conference today. He is not on the same page with Oscar De La Hoya. He says he's going back down to 160. That remains to be seen. Like I said, he doesn't have all them guys he can fight. All the title holders at 160 are fighters that he hasn't fought. He's been ducking to me, and all of a sudden he's going to fight them now. But we'll see, man. Maybe it's Oscar De La Hoya that was holding them fights up. Maybe he's willing to fight him, but I doubt that's the case. I don't think he's going to get in the ring with Jamal Charlo, who's actually I can see him getting in there with Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo's not a slick boxer. Jamal Charlo is a straight up and down, right in front of you guy that's gonna be throwing bombs, and that'll be actually an entertaining fight. So he might be willing to get in there with Jamal Charlo. But Demetrius Andrade, even though they on the same app, DAZN, that's I don't see him getting in the ring with him. That's a bad stylistic matchup for Canelo. He's a better boxer, more skill, better footwork, taller, longer ranger. Horrible matchup for Canelo. Jamal Charlo, that's a good fight. That's gonna be a phone booth fight, both and he might even have quicker hands. I believe he have quicker hands than Jamal, so that'll be a good fight. Jamal might be a little bit more fresher and a little bit more hungry at this point, so that'll be a real good fight. He have a chance. Better, he have a chance. He have a good shot in that fight against Charlo. That's to me is 55-45 type of fight in favor of Canelo. Almost a 50-55, 55-45. He fight Demetrius Andrade, that's 60-40 Andrade. The only one that's 60-40 is Andrade ain't going to be able to knock Canelo out. And even if he outbox him, he might get messed over on the scorecards because, Canelo's got a 10-fight deal. They got a lot of money invested in him. And they don't want to see him lose. He's going to have to knock him out. I don't think Andrade will knock him out, so he could get messed over on the scorecard. That's the only reason why I say it's 60-40 Andrade. Because he going to have to beat him. He got to win at least nine rounds. If it's 9-3, 9 rounds. 8-4, and if it's a lot of close rounds, he's going to get messed over by the referee. 7-5, he going to get about it. He's going to lose that fight if he wins 7 rounds. He got to win at least 9 rounds, and dominant 9 rounds. And that's his only chance of getting the decision. Anything outside of that, they're going to screw him over on the scorecards because they got too much money tied up in Canelo Alvarez. He's got a 10-fight deal. He is DAZN. He is DAZN. Just like Floyd Mayweather say, I am boxing. Canelo Alvarez can say, I am DAZN. Because once he leave, once it's over, once he leave DAZN, or if he does leave DAZN, or if he fall off, lose the next couple of fights, and he's irrelevant, man, DAZN is over, man. They don't have. He's the only thing keeping that thing afloat in the U.S. He's the only thing keeping that thing afloat in the U.S. They'd be DOA if he wasn't on DAZN, if he falls off. So we'll see how it plays out. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. Follow me on Instagram, JB Sports 713, and follow me on Twitter, JB Sports, the man, and I holla.